Don't you ever get bored at a supercharger or charging your car? I mean, literally, I get this question all the time. And I think there's a misconception that, you basically plug in your car and you're there waiting for hours on end to charge your vehicle. Obviously, that's not true. So for those of you who don't know, for those of you who don't really understand how this works and you want to learn, let me tell you how this works. I have never gotten bored at a supercharger. You see, the reason I don't get bored at a charger is because, frankly, I always have something to do. You see, I don't go to superchargers just for the sake of going to the superchargers or because, well, I must do a supercharge or I must charge up my car. Whenever I go to a supercharger, I think ahead. I know what percentage I have left. I know how much battery life I have left. I know where I'm standing with my battery at all times. And frankly, I just think ahead. If I have to be somewhere tomorrow, I'll charge up today. And me personally, although most people don't agree with it, I do use pretty exclusively superchargers. And well, I live in a condo. I don't have a charger at home. And even if I did, I have free supercharging at superchargers. I'm gonna use that. Why wouldn't I? It's one of the perks that I have for buying the car when I did. With that said, do people ever get bored at superchargers? The people I talk to, they say no. There's always something to do. And one of the biggest things that you have to do is, well, you chat with people. You see, you have a lot of people who absolutely love to talk about their car. And this ranges from the youngest to the oldest people I've met. Everybody loves, just sitting around and chatting and discussing, what they like, what they don't like, and so forth and so on. So no, I never have been bored at a supercharger. My wife and I, we've traveled a great deal throughout, where we are and on our province and the province next to us. And whoa, cool. Look at that. It's a Model X. Park, park, park. Ooh, that's too tight. Come on, you can do it. No, gosh. Okay, I think you're good. Good job, good job. So, as I was saying, my wife and I, we definitely we've gone through, we live in British Columbia, we've gone through BC, we've gone through Alberta, we've traveled quite a bit, and that meant I'm stopping at superchargers. That meant I have to charge up my car, and I've never been bored. And the reason we don't get bored is, first of all, it doesn't take as long as most people think it does. Charging your car on, everybody's talking about this 1 hour seems to be the threshold. That's what everybody talks about. Well, who wants to wait around for an hour to charge their car? Truth of the matter is, it's never an hour. If it's an hour, sometimes I'm actually happy if it's an hour, because that means I have enough time to go and get something to eat, go to the bathroom, that kind of stuff. More often than not, I get in a conversation with somebody, and next thing I know, the car is charged up, and we're done. We're unplugging and conversation's over, or we just move a car and continue the conversation. But in a real world, it's really, really rare. In fact, about a year since I bought this car, I rarely ever had to stay an hour. Maybe 2, maybe 3 times where I actually stood a full hour at a charger, to charge it up. And those were usually where I was running my own little experiments for you guys. What happens when you drain the battery really, really low. So we're talking, down to, I think, as low as 8 or 7%. I've had it a few times. Those are the only times that I really stuck around. The other thing that most people don't realize is, well, you never charge these cars fully. So because you never really charge it up to 100%, you charge it up to 80%, let's say. Well, in the real world, you're looking at anywhere between 30 to 40 minute charge times. More often than not, even less than that. And the key reason is because you're going there with 20, maybe 30%, and you're charging it up to the 80, maybe 90%, depending on you. If I am out, for example, on a vacation, more often than not, what I'll do is I'll charge it up to about 95%, and that just gives me, plenty of range to get to my next destination. More often than not, however, my range to my next destination leaves me with about 40, maybe 50% left in terms of the charge. So I am only at each supercharger for, on average, I would say no more than 15 to 20, maybe if I'm lucky, I'll hit 30 minutes. Just enough time for me to, run into the bathroom if I'm on a trip, maybe, pick up something quick to eat. Our problem with superchargers is that they actually charge too fast. And what I mean by this is, by the time you go in, get something to eat, the car actually finishes charging much sooner than you expected, which also puts you in a position where you got to go to the bathroom, get something to eat. Really, you're almost rushing at this point because the car will be done charging in approximately half an hour. By the time you get to your destination, get to a place where you can get something to eat, you order your food, you head over to the bathroom, you come out, you start eating. Half an hour flies by really, really quick. But what about for those people who are not on a trip? What about for those people like myself right now, just driving around and chilling out and doing nothing? Well, I just came from a supercharger, and so what did I do there? I went and I finished up my paperwork. I had a number of paperwork for my job, and so I finished up my paperwork. I caught up on Instagram for you guys to send out some more photos and kind of keep the social media stuff up to date. And I was writing the next step for what video I want to make. Okay, granted, this is good for myself. If you're a YouTuber, then you can sit in your car and let the car charge and prepare your next video. Sure, but not everybody's a YouTuber. So let's say you're somebody who has nothing to take home with you. You don't take your work home with you. Let's say you don't even deal with social media. Well, sit back and watch a YouTube video. There you go, and charge your car. However, what is it that most people do? Most people, what they do is they'll park their car, they'll catch up on certain things that they have to do. And so I decided to talk to a few people at Superchargers, including today, and I asked them, what do you do while you're waiting for the car to charge? Does it ever get boring? And not a single person said, yeah, it's boring. In fact, everybody said the exact opposite. No, it's not. There's always something to do. All superchargers are very strategically placed, so you do have the ability to go and look around and see what's around you. Even if you've been there 1,000 times, you'll still enjoy the time you have to just kind of go look around. At the same time, one of the big things I find is you're not, let's say you're at a supercharger where a mall is, right? I've done that a few times. I don't necessarily go in and buy anything, but I'll tell you, there's so much to see in these malls. I can get lost in there, and if I'm just gonna go look around, I'll be in there for 2-3 hours. The car actually kind of limits that for me and allows me to just kind of don't waste time in a mall, but rather go there, check out a few things here and there that I might be interested in, get back to my car. If I'm still interested, I'll simply move my car and get back in the mall, but if I'm not, then just get back in the car and go. The bottom line is, it's really, really hard to get bored at a supercharger. It's actually quite hard to get bored at it. Now, on a rare occasion where I go to a supercharging station and I'm the only car there, I have to admit it's so strange because I almost miss, in that case, the opportunity to just go and chat with some of the other owners. A lot of the stuff for the videos that I make for you guys, I gather information at superchargers in regards to any video that has to do with ownership of the vehicle, and that's great. It gives me a ton of abilities to bring you the content and give you information that are coming directly from Tesla owners, right? And so I love that. Charging your car is like going to a car meetup every single time you go to every single time you're charging your car. And it doesn't matter if you go to a level 2 charger or whatever. Sometimes what I like to do is I like to go down to McDonald's or Starbucks. In our area there's a few McDonald's and Starbucks places that have level 2 chargers, and you'll see a few Nissan Leafs there, and Priuses and that kind of stuff. And if there's enough chargers, I'll pull in, and heck, I get to find out about those cars because that's what they're using. And again, that's how I get my information. But the average person has never told me that it's inconvenient in a Tesla to charge their cars. And maybe I just ran into basically people who all didn't mind. And I think that's the whole issue here. A lot of the stigma around, it gets boring to wait around for your car to charge is not coming from a lot of the owners here. It's coming from media. It's coming from basically people who they don't even own the damn car. What they're doing is that they're basically taking what somebody said and everybody's kind of flying with it. Nobody's really very few people who actually own the cars talk like that. And I think it's one of the big problems that we have today. Media and the public at large, while they're reacting to one or two people making a comment, and generally those comments are not coming from actual owners. So I guess the big question is, can you get bored? I think you can. I think if you're the kind of person who can't find things to do when you have a little bit of time to yourself, well, that typically means you got a ton of time on your hands in general. See, I have always something to do. I don't really have the free time and the ability to just sit back and waste time. So for me, sitting at a supercharger, if that means I get to sit back, let's say even for 10 minutes and do nothing, I'm wasting time. I am not really, being productive of my day. So I take what I have, which is a Tesla. I take what I need to do, which is charge the car, and I build into that my hobbies, or in my case, definitely one of the biggest things I do is this is the time I take to update my social media account and kind of keep up with what's going on with the comments on the videos and so forth and so on. So whenever you guys make comments and I respond, a lot of the times I am actually at a charger and I respond in bulk. I do respond as much as I can throughout the day, but when I'm at a supercharger, I kind of respond. That's usually where you see my bigger responses, my more detailed responses. And that's because, well, I have a chance. I have the opportunity to do it there, and I take advantage of this. When it's all said and done, how you use your time is up to you. And saying that, well, charging your vehicle, especially when we're talking about 20 to 40 minute time frames, well, I get bored. You're doing something wrong. Maybe you should look at how you're using your time more so than how inconvenient it is to charge the car. I would like to bring up one more point. Would you rather wait 20 minutes at a charger and let's say pay $10 or $12 to charge up that car, or wait 5 minutes at a gas station and pay $90 to fuel up your car? I'm going to leave you with that. Something for you to think about. So with that said, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. As always, you guys really do make this channel what it is. Give me your opinion in the comments below, and well, till the next video, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. I appreciate every one of you who are watching. I appreciate the time that you waste out of your life to watch me make these videos. Have a wonderful day. Drive safe. Bye.